What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the Prime Vanguard channel. Today I am doing another deck profile at BCS Duluth. I am joined by one of our top 8 contestants for B Premium, Jalen, and today he took Thavas and dominated the competition all the way up until he lost. Now with that being said, we're going to go over his deck profile and he's going to explain us all of his card choice and some awesome combos you can do with Thavas. So starting off with, what made you want to bring Thavas over Grand Blue, Orange, Leopold, and all the other decks?
Okay, so the reason I decided on Thavas was a funny reason, because I thought I had cards at my house, but I didn't, so I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to play this deck. But B, knowing a lot of the people here, I thought that everybody would be playing Grand Blue and stuff, so I thought Thavas and Excel deck would be pretty good into this.
Got you. And now that you've taken the deck to the event, do you regret how you feel about it? Do you wish you could have changed? Or do you still feel like Thavas accomplished a predominant amount of your goals, seeing as how you made it to top 8?
It did what it was supposed to do. It's just the 2 rounds that I lost during Swiss was just because I bricked. And then my top 8, I lost just because it was basically just a hand difference, honestly. But I don't regret it whatsoever.
Got you. And that is great to hear. So quickly go over your rounds for the day, and then we'll get into the deck profile. Okay,
round 1, I played against Grand Blue. I won that. Round 2 was against the Aqua Force Mirror match. I won that. Round 3, round 2 was against Highlander. I won that. Round 3, I played against... Oh yeah, that was my loss. It was Aqua Force Mirror match. Then round 4 was against another Highlander. Round 5 was another Aqua Force. Round 6 was another Aqua Force. Round 7, pretty sure was another Aqua Force. And then round 8 was against Battle Sisters.
So you just got hit with the whole meta. Got it. Except Battle Sisters. That one was interesting. How did that go?
It went fine. I just knew what Battle Sister cards did. The Battle Sister player was dominating before. They were undefeated for like 5 rounds. So they were just going crazy.
Well, that is awesome to hear. Now, with all of that being said, we're finally going to go ahead into the deck profile. We're going to take a look at the grade 4s, Thavas has them, and then discuss your triggers. So, break it down to us, what we got working here.
Alrighty, so, pretty much, it's the 3 Lambros. I tried to play 2. Friends convinced me to play 3, because if you run out and you don't have Nikki, you die. That's what happened in my top 8 match. I ran out of Lambroses and I died.
Okay.
Grade 3, the only grade 3 you play, Thavas. What it does, it super rides Lambros from deck if you have 3 rested. And then if you place it, gets plus 10k plus 1 drive, so it's base 25k triple drive. And Lambros on place restands the whole board, which lets you still do full combo.
Got you. Now, a lot of people play 1 copy of Genovius. Why didn't you do that?
Okay, so my reasoning was a friend convinced me, because normally I would play 1 Genovius, but then he was like, it's kind of a win more card in some situations, but I can understand putting it in there. I'm perfectly fine without it, but I can understand putting in the one of Lambros. Not Lambros, Genovius.
Okay, so we can pass in Genovius then. So for your grade 2s, what do you have?
Alrighty, we got Pursuit of Soul, the best card in your deck. It enables everything. You need it. If you don't draw it, you're crying.
Sounds about right.
In one of my Swiss rounds, I didn't see it. I had to call double of the grade 1, check top 5 twice, add 2 Thavas, 2 Lambros to my hand, call both of the, not Lambros, I was right, Thavas, call both of them down, use the skills in order to have 3 rested to then go into the Lambros.
Okay.
This card is a create a card. Discard, check top 5, add a grade 1 or grade 2 or less, so you just add any of your combo pieces, aka 8 copies of Pursuit, but then also in a column it restands itself, and then if it's 4th battle it gets plus 10. and that helps you close out games a lot of the time.
Did you use the Vanguard effect a lot to rush in the grade 2 turn?
Surprisingly, no, because in most matchups, I would either discard it or keep it for the rearguard effect, because the rearguard push is more effective. If my hand was fine enough, and I could just discard like a random thing, because the problem is this deck is piece reliant. So if I could discard, let's say, a trigger and it's a matchup that I'll be fine with, I could use it on Vanguard Circle.
Got you.
I've only did that one time today.
The swing with the Vanguard to get the...
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Your next best card, Coral Assault. It says draw a card. That matters. 24k beat stick. It matters. That's pretty much it.
Yep.
2 Dennis. If you see it, you're cool. If you don't see it, that's whatever. It's just another rest target.
Now, how do you feel about Thavas players replacing this for Adelaide or a Terrific Coil?
Honestly, Adelaide I'm fine with. It's just Dennis lets me get another board, which matters more, especially in like a semi-controller matchup, to where you need to just keep seeing your pieces. I understand Adelaide for more pressure, but a lot of people have been cutting it now recently, and yeah.
And Terrific Coil, is the title assault that gets 5k power.
Oh, that card's just bad in Thavas, honestly, because it's just like, okay, swing, restand, swing. It's like, it doesn't matter. Plus it costs a soul, and soul matters a lot in this deck.
Okay, so even with the Coral Assault, you still feel like you'll have a soul problem with Nikki and Coral Assault?
Because the main thing is your turn 3, you're going to be on 1-0 soul normally. So you need a soul for Lambros's effect to be able to soul blast. Otherwise, if you soul blast the grade 3, then you kill itself. If you don't have a Vanguard to rise, you auto lose.
Got you. Okay, so that's an interesting reason for Dennis. I never thought about it like that. So the grade 2s look good, looks pretty standard, and what do you got for grade 1s?
Alrighty, we got 4 of this thing. It draws a card, it gets power. That's the main deal. Nikki searches Thavas. That's the only thing that matters. If you don't fight Thavas, you auto lose.
Sounds about right.
And then also, the rest itself bought deck a Lambros, because if you don't have Lambros in your deck, you lose. My top 8 match, I didn't have Lambros in my deck, and I didn't see a Nikki. And then other grade 1, for this, I wanted to play 2 Wheel Assault, but didn't have access to it, so we just put 4 copies of this.
Gotcha. Alright, so the grade 1s look pretty standard. What about your triggers?
Alrighty. 4, 8 crit, standard, 4 draw, 4 heal.
Okay, so the triggers look pretty standard. A couple of quick questions here. Now, based off the matches you've had today, do you feel like it's valid to do a 2-2 split, or you just want to commit to these?
Just commit to these, because especially in this format, when the opponent's turn 3 is insane, you need heal guards as much as possible. And
you don't feel like you can get away with 2 of these, then 2 20k shields to help you in the late game?
Not really, because I knew, if anything, it was going to be Grand Blue, which you need the heal guard power for. The self-damage didn't come up at all today, but that part can also come up if the opponent tries to keep you on 0. So even though most of your stuff's free, you can still self-ping yourself to then use Lambros's effect to then do more column swings.
Got you. And then my final question for the trigger lineup is, so Thavas players are sometimes 50-50 with it. I know it's more popular to do crits now, but what deterred you away from playing fronts instead?
This card.
You don't feel like having a restanding Vanguard that can get double fronts is good?
Not really, especially because 1 damage is whatever. You need to put on as much pressure as possible, especially with this. If you drive check a crit, let's say you swing Van, you have this plus a booster, you swing Van, you check a crit, if they're on 4, you give all here, swing with its own skill, it restands, and then it will still have the crit, so then you have 2 lethal swings.
Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. So you're just sticking to the typical Aqua Force, stack a crit, restand, just maintain the pressure like that?
Yep.
You don't feel you ever needed an extra 10k buff to your entire front row with a double XL?
No, because either way, this is going to be pushing damage, because having like 4 or 5 XLs already. Sure, the front is like guaranteed sometimes, but if they're just on 2 damage or 3 damage the entire time, all that power doesn't mean anything.
And you don't feel like keeping a Night Rose player's damage low now that everybody knows the 7 attack combo is important?
No and yes. So damage denying matters for turn 2 because you want to damage deny the column. After that, it's basically case by case where you go, okay, does my opponent have ways to countercharge anyways? If they do, you might as well just give them the damage. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then it's like, okay, if let's say they already have a setup drop zone, but they don't have any way to countercharge, you could potentially pass, or normally, if you think you're going to win either way and you'll be able to survive their 7 attack combo, which it is possible, especially because you want to stay on low damage against Night Rose. So you just still apply the pressure. They have to guard with a lot of their pieces, and then sure, they'll be on 5, and then on the crackback, they try to do their 7 attack combo. But that's why we try to keep PGs in our hand.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, Jalen, thank you so much for your deck profile. I really appreciate it. My last thing is, because it's really important for the community, tell us your thoughts about BCS Duluth this season and how you felt about the competition.
This season, I liked it, honestly. It was just like, it was interesting because I played against Highlander twice. I didn't think I was going to, but it was honestly smooth run event. Everybody was chill I talked to, even my top 8 opponent, which I was worried, like sometimes when you're in top 8, all of a sudden they get all like silent, do all the hand shuffling and all that, but my opponent was chill. And you know what? I'm fine with that.
All right, well that's good to hear. Thank you so much for your time, Jalen. You have a fantastic day and keep on card fighting.
You too.